The Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical podcast containing objective information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political, nor are we religious. We are analytical and a bit prodigious. Give yourself an opportunity to breathe as people seethe when we have tricks up our sleeve. You are about to find yourself deep into the Cheating Death Podcast. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we provide insight on giving an opportunity to balance exercising and eating in a way that works for you. We provide you with a list of the top 5 current post-workout meals, a new Annihilation Announcement, an all-new joke of the episode, and there are so much more bits of information within this episode for you, dear listener. So provide yourself with an opportunity to kick your feet up, grab that iced coffee, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Give yourself an opportunity to look into the mirror this morning, afternoon, evening, or night and find a reason for yourself to smile. This is not an arduous task. This is a task that requires effort and consistency. When you look at yourself and when you see exactly what it is there is to do, when the world seems to be at your feet, you see exactly what it is that is required for you to get to that next level. You look in your eyes and you see your soul and your vessel for what they are. You see inside of that pane of glass an entire entity, an entire organism that is capable of functioning at a high level. You understand exactly what it is needing to be done in order for your life to be what you would like it to be. We ask ourselves questions over a litany of years that do not ever really truly fully have answers. And when we move forward in a way that is trying to get ourselves to a point to where we see exactly where the sun dwells in comparison to the remainder of the sky, these are reflections upon ourselves that we are very privileged to be able to see, feel, hear every single day. When you look into your own eyes, you will see universes, galaxies, and entire worlds that you are not even remotely aware of. The neural network of our brains is very similar to that of the universe. So when you provide yourself an opportunity to see yourself from that angle, understand, dear listener, that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you. You are the the code. You are the individual in whom is going to do everything that they possibly can to make this reality, every single possible thing that they are, every entity that they can be. Note, dear listener, that you are capable. You are very inclined to see just how hard it is that you work and just how much you try. There are no ways for you to identify specifically exactly how you are not able to drive yourself to success. We're always providing ourselves with barriers and obstacles that do not need to be barriers and obstacles. But when you look in that mirror, when you look up and down, left and right, backwards and forwards, it is quite clear, it is quite evident that you have given yourself an opportunity to shine, and that you, moving forward, will always do everything that you possibly can to see exactly what can be done to increase your level of capability within the world itself. There are no easy answers, as we constantly state within the confines of this program, but that does not mean that you always have to give yourself a hard time. It does not mean that you have to look at yourself in the mirror and see exactly how the world shapes itself before you. And note, dear listeners, that there is absolutely nothing that you should not do to give yourself an opportunity to believe in everything that you can do. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde, guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht ist deine Reisende und deine Ausländer, deine Allesfresser, deine Schauspieler, deine Kunst, and dear listeners, today we are looking into the combination and the synergy of exercising and eating, and seeing what it is that makes it so beautiful of a mechanism that works within itself. You, dear listener, wake up in the morning and you provide yourself with an opportunity to utilize the washroom as you go about your day, and you ponder as to what to eat before you work out. Well, there are a litany of options and examples one could provide themselves. You could have yourself a very small breakfast of fruits and or a very, very light breakfast of the delicate protein-based cereal varieties, but you must ask yourself exactly what works for you and your workout and for what you are doing that day. For you see, if you are going for a run and you are going to be lifting some weights immediately after, it is absolutely not a good idea to be eating a 3-course sausage, egg, and bacon meal before your workout. Give yourself an opportunity to see exactly which muscle group you are working out that day, whether it be back and biceps or shoulder and chest day. It does not matter. We try in each and every single conceivable and possible way to see exactly what we must do in order to move forward and in order to wage war. But exercising and eating does not necessarily have to be one of the most arduous points of contention that you provide yourself in your life. It can be a source of relaxation, a source of restoration in a way. But how we identify and how we view these particular elements of our own lives is imperative and is specific to each of us individually. Look inside of your mind and see exactly what you would like to do for today's workout. Go for a light jog, perhaps do some hammer curls and some extensions. Maybe give yourself an opportunity to do a few dips here and there. What are we going to eat before this particular workout, dear listener? Well, there are a couple of different options. You could have yourself a light bowl of oats with some honey and give yourself a yummy, tasty snack as well as a nice little energy boost along the way to your workout. You are also able to provide yourself with a nice little protein bar or a snack of that variety, just to make sure that you give yourself enough energy to get through your workout as well. When we exercise, physiologically speaking, there are so many chemical reactions going inside of our bodies that we are in constant movement. We are in constant change. And these developments, these particular items, these opportunities that we give ourselves to build, to shape, to mold, they are not necessarily lost on the minds and on the souls of others. We look at ourselves from the perspective of identifying and understanding exactly what needs to be done, what needs to be seen, and how it is that we are doing what we can to reach the peaks of our own physical embodiment of what we want to look like. In order for us to reach these goals, we must harness the power of eating and exercising properly. It is not about constantly lifting weights. No, you must ensure that when you are eating, that you are either counting calories, that you are taking care of exactly what you are putting in and what is being removed, and that your exercises are not too overburdened, that you do not feel the ability to move forward or to move on. Exercising, whether it be something as simple as walking down the street or something as simple as going for a jog, does not necessarily always have to have a 3-course meal or 4-course meal follow it. After you exercise, your meal could be something as simple as a can of tuna or a little bowl of pasta with some garlic sauce or some tomato sauce. Doesn't really matter. What matters, dear listener, is that you are giving yourself an opportunity in this time to see exactly what you can do to move forward, what you can do to balance both of them, and give yourself an opportunity to see just how beautiful your body can be, as well as how your mind can function when both are put into constant and benevolent changes within yourself. Micro changes, micro modifications, giving yourself an opportunity to see and tweak and change little things here and there. For it is when you start to do what you feel is necessary to balance exercising and eating, that is when you have truly started to become what you are hoping to achieve. Until next time, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's episode, we promised you a list of our top 5 current favorite post-workout meals. That being said, dear listener, understand that regardless of whether it is a run, a jog, a weightlifting session, high-impact interval training, or any other particular type of exercise that gets you up and going, this particularly applies to you. Coming in at number 5, we have canned chunk light tuna. Coming in at number 4, we of course have the chicken and rice. Coming in at number 3, we have a giant bottle of water, and of course the lovely food addition that you will consume along with this, the protein powder. Coming in at number 2, we have one of the most favorite but most lean options available, and that of course would be extra lean ground beef burritos. And coming in at number 1, we have one of the favorites of all time, one of the best and one of the easiest snacks that one can have after a post-workout, given the strength and the structure. Go get yourself a protein milkshake. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your 5 favorite post-workout meals? Feel free to comment in the video below. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. We put a lot of focus on death and disarray in life, and a lot of people find themselves in positions where they're asking themselves, goodness gracious, are my affairs in order? Well, at least you are looking at yourself as an opportunity and realizing that if your death occurs on a subway, it's tragic, but not really a big deal. Your death occurs at a Subway restaurant, well, boy, howdy, it may very well become a problem. Eating eating and exercise are not always the most simple things to put together and make work hand in hand, but what we do as a species is we always try to move forward. We always try to wage war. We always try to perpetuate our own progress. We always try to evolve in certain ways that other individuals feel that they may or may not be able to. These circumstances always lead us to opportunity to where normally it would not be something in which people would be capable of registering on any type of scale. We ask ourselves what more we can do, especially when it comes to achieving our goals and our dreams. But sometimes it isn't necessarily what more one can do, it's how differently can you do it. Looking at the finer things in life as being those of the simpler format, being able to sniff a flower, being able to go for a walk in the rain without getting completely soaked and sick, giving yourself an opportunity to look outside and see that there is a beautiful sunset upon the horizon. These things that we discuss are not necessarily the finest of luxuries, but they are some of the most beautiful elements in life. When you combine exercising and eating into a unique fusion that works for you, and you find yourself feeling more energetic and more developed and more bonded, it is an absolutely outstanding travesty to witness, in which there will be no situation that you cannot escape. There is no way that you can ultimately find a path that will not be befitting of your particular preferences unless you try. When you take into account just how difficult it is for people to look into their minds and see exactly what they need to do to develop an exercising and eating regimen that works for them in a way to where they are able to grow, build, change, and develop, these symptoms work for them because it gives them an opportunity to see how well they can streamline not only their activities but also their consumption of food as well as their exercise patterns. For when you develop a routine, when you get yourself to a point to where you are actually fully running on all of your cylinders, you can feel it, you will hear it, you will see it. And at the end of the day, whenever we are trying to mix the exercising and eating together and do everything that we fucking can, it makes so many fucking things beautiful and brilliant. You need to see yourself exactly as how you provide an opportunity for your mind and your body to grow. And if you see yourself in a particular angle that is both offensive to yourself as well as deprecatory or filled with derogatory and derisive statements, dear listener, you are not doing yourself any favors at all, and we kindly and humbly ask that you get the fuck up and you do what you can to believe in yourself, because when you take an opportunity to look in the mirror and see exactly what lays before you, and you identify that both your diet and your exercise patterns have been formed into a way that you see growth on the horizon, you are already much further than most people. So continue. Do what you can. Find every ounce of strength within your soul, because each and every single moment is yours. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Noctem Leaving CRDVC, Cleric of Chaos, and where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. If you would like to support the program, you can purchase merch, you can buy a cameo, you can buy us a coffee at the links in the episodes and in the podcast description. Please follow each and every single one of our comedian, actor, director, consultant, and associate producing friends in the links in the episodes and in the podcast description and the credits section as well. And if you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, emotional turmoil, gambling, abuse, substance withdrawal, please consult the telephone numbers listed in the episodes and in the podcast description as well. Please follow our program at youtube.com/@clericchaos and youtube.com/@weallcheatdeath. All of our social media is located in the pinned profile post in the episode's description as well. Like, share, and subscribe if you would like. As well, dear listeners, if you are looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. They are in dire need of your support. And remember to visit yummypets.com/voice. Sign up for a free account. give an opportunity to click the pink button every single day to give cats and dogs in shelters an opportunity to receive 330 pounds of free food at the end of each month. If you are experiencing chaos and calamity, dear listener, please remind yourselves that there is no one-track solution to this realm. There is no easy solution to life, and all you must do is keep waging war on mediocrity. Remember, we are pulling for you. We are all in this together.